Hello YouTube, this is the Retro Union Collectors channel once again, and today we are taking a look at the Transformers Kingdom War for Cybertron 29 Commander Class Rodimus Prime here. So get him and his trailer out of the way and take a look at this enormous box. So this box is going to be a little bit difficult to show off just because of its size here. But this is the front of it. Go up. It says Rodimus Prime right up here. Transformers. It says Kingdom down there. Right here we have the War for Cybertron K29. On this side we got the big Kingdom art. This box is enormous, so this is kind of hard to show. On the back here we have a picture of Rodimus Prime in his robot and vehicle mode, as well as his vehicle mode with his trailer. This here shows what the trailer can do. And this up here shows you some of the extra little accessories he comes with. He does come with a Matrix of Leadership. These little blast effects that kind of go right here, this is more accurate than this is because they're not blue. They're not blue. They're actually like solid black. But as for that, that's pretty much it with the box here. That side, just a continuation of the art there. Taking these boxes out of the way, we can get Rodimus Prime back into here. And so I honestly thought that this thing was just going to be like a kind of minor retool of the SS86 hot rod, but he looks incredible. I think that this is a really, really good look for this figure here. At first I was super disappointed and I did not want this thing because I had the hot rod and I thought the hot rod was incredible. And it was on the smaller side. That was my only complaint. But I didn't think that they could really step it up this much to get something worthy of spending $35 on and then $80 on. So I'm rather impressed with this, actually. I think that the colors turned out really nice. You can see that his little leg pieces down here are actually a different color than Hot Rod's are. He is overall just a solid figure. There's really no empty gap spots either, which is really, really impressive. Even under here, just like how the whole thing folds into itself. That's a good word for it. This is very impressive. This is a hell of a figure. If you are interested in a Hot Rod or Rodimus Prime at all, I would definitely say if you have the money, get it. This thing is awesome. It's a little bit smaller than what you would expect from a Commander class. I don't have either of the other Commander classes, but I've heard that they're like significantly bigger. Whereas this dude, this is where most of your price is coming from and the engineering. But so I think the robot mode looks incredible. I really like, before we move on, I want to point this out here. This decals on his chest look phenomenal. My Autobot symbol looks a little bit askew, but that's alright. I'm just going to ignore that. I really like the black outline on the flames on his chest, though, and on the trailer. It's very prominent on the trailer, and I'll show you that more when we get there. He does come with quite a few accessories here, actually. You can go ahead and open his hand, and this is his sword. And to my knowledge, Rodimus Prime never wielded a sword. So where this sword really comes from and what it's based on, I have no idea. But you can fold out this little peg here, and that can go on his side here and kind of just be, held on display. He also has on his back, I stored it on his back, he has this ginormous rifle, which can fold in half for storage. And ginormous, I mean like, it's huge. Getting him out of the way here, we can go ahead and I'm just going to get the accessories out here and show you the trailer later. And did somebody say blast effects? Yeah, so Rodimus Prime here, he includes a ton of little blast effect accessories. I'll show you this next. He has just like an egregious amount of these things. Like I said, I don't have either the other Commander class or any of the Titan class figures or anything like that. but I do believe that this here is the same blast effect that came with like Jetfire, I believe. Like I said, I don't have that figure, so I'm not positive. One issue I do have with mine, so this bottom piece is a rather solid plastic with these little nubs being a little more rubbery. These ones are all rubbery. That's not my complaint though. My complaint is this. It's like almost all of these has some kind of black paint splotched on it. But so you get a ton of these. You get like one of these big huge ones, one of these big medium, you get a medium, you get a also kind of big medium but totally different. You get like 3 of these, which I personally actually, these I put them in the thrusters on my Seekers, or what I've done here is I actually have a little blast effect coming off of my Bumblebee. And this Bumblebee is the Worlds Collide Bumblebee. The reviews on those figures are coming soon. And then, like I said earlier, you do get the black ones that would go on. They're supposed to go on like right here. Let's see if I can get this. Yeah, they go on like right there. Pretty cool looking. I almost kind of wish they weren't black. Like a translucent gray would have been a lot nicer, honestly. Especially since looking at these, there's really no way to see this through the camera unless you like shine a light. Yeah, it is. Okay. I'm totally right there. These are the same as these. They're just painted black. Do you see that? There's very clearly translucent blue plastic in here. So that's kind of cool. And then, of course, we do get the little blast for the Matrix of Leadership. And that's about it for the blast effects. Get all those back out of here. So I can go ahead and show you this. He does have the Matrix of Leadership, which you can use this blast effect for. And how you do this, super cool. You just kind of pull this tab up and then disconnect this whole section here. And that'll open up his Matrix chamber. It's very stiff in there. Rather difficult to get out, and it kind of likes to just pop out, which isn't the coolest. But here it is. And just like the Hot Rod, the 86 Hot Rod, you can take the blast effect and literally just put these posts on the sides there. And kaboom, you have the Matrix lighting the darkest hour. I do kind of want to just show this off, though. These blast effects from Hot Rod and Rodimus Prime are entirely different. They're not the same blast effect. This, aside from just color, this is a darker blue. This is also an entirely different design and hard plastic, not rubber. So just kind of keep that in mind if you're gonna drop $80 on a Transformer for the blast effects. Just know that personally, I actually prefer the Hot Rod one, but it's up to you. It is the same design as you get with the Optimus Prime from like Earthrise and Kingdom. Mine happens to be rather poorly painted, and there's a lot of that gold color kind of just bleeding over into the chrome. Or not chrome, but you know what I mean. Like right here, it's not supposed to be gold there. For comparison here, we can grab the one with the one from Optimus. So here we go. If I can get this opened. Go ahead and bust this out. Oh, wow. Now that I take another look at my Optimus is even worse painted. There we go. Alrighty. Alright, so this is Optimus's Matrix here, and as you can see, it's actually painted even worse than my Hot Rod one. There is one major difference that I kind of was thinking, but I wanted to see to make damn sure, and I am right. The inner core thing on Optimus's is bronze, whereas if you look at Hot Rod's, it's quite clearly a different shade. This is more of a gold. This is more of a bronze. Also, those like gems in the middle are a little bit different color. This one's darker. The hot rod or the Rodimus one is darker, and the Optimus one is a little bit. I don't really want to say lighter, just a different color. Go ahead and get him out of here though. Go ahead and put these matrices, or however you want to say it, matrices, or however, put them away. And for the last accessory, well, no, last two accessories here, we have his little cannon, this little turret thing. Fold these out. You can do whatever you want. This thing can mount down inside of the trailer, and he can hold it by these little handles here, and he can pretend to shoot it. I believe this to be a callback to his G1 toy. I think his G1 toy had this turret thing. But for his last accessory here, and I'll show you more how it looks when we get to vehicle mode, just because the trailer is kind of more of a vehicle mode accessory. But this is the trailer here. Very cool. The pipes, a lot of people are complaining about this. I think it's not too bad. It doesn't really catch my eye too bad when it's all connected in vehicle mode. This black tab here is how the trailer connects to Rodimus. You got his tires down here. This is super cool here. This little compartment here can totally come out, and this is just straight up storage. There's no purpose for this other than weapon storage. That's all it is, which is super cool. It's just got these little divots here and these little marks. Just got a little rail system. Push that back into there. He also does have more storage in here. So you can open that, and that's just a little storage compartment in there. You can open this up a little bit further when you open the trailer. And on the back, this is super cool. This is such a minor little thing that I like this. This gets me. You see these? Those are real metal. That is such an unnecessary but nice little detail there. Like, they didn't need to put a little metal bar there to make it look real, but they did. And it looks great. But you can also pull this part down here. And this is a rather large trailer. To compare it with Optimus's, you can see here, Optimus's actually looks really small next to this one. And it kind of is. And the functionality of Optimus's, there's really nothing except that opens, and then it can open, and then a little medical bay thing. Whereas this Rodimus Prime trailer actually has there's integrated weapon storage in it in multiple spots. It can open. It's got this turret thing. It's got all the blast effects. This is a pretty cool set here. I really like how this opens. It's got that little connectivity here for the tracks and stuff. You can probably fit. I have tried. Huffer does not fit in here. You can probably fit this Bumblebee in here, though. I haven't tried that. But go ahead and fold this back up. To open this, you literally just open it. It's held in by some little click tab things right up here. Right there. And as you can see, there is just an egregious amount of these little 5mm ports here. And I also forgot this. You can pull this down and kind of have that be like a trailer display thing for with the door open. Do that. That comes down too. Kind of defeats the purpose of the ramp. But that there can open up. That's how you get to the extended area of this little storage compartment. You just open it. Close that. His little gun here has a peg right here that can just go into this middle post. I think that's where it's supposed to be. And then there you go. This thing has a couple joints here. It is rather articulated, actually. It can turn at the top. But, I mean, that's about it for the trailer and stuff. It has this little nub right here that catches on this here. So you can kind of close that and then close that down on it. And then Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention this. For some reason, when you turn these doors here, the exhaust pipes stay with it, which is a little odd. It almost creates like a little like kickstand kind of thing. Like these are holding on the ground here, which is kind of odd. I don't really know why it does that, but I've also heard that closing this thing can be an issue. So you push this up until it tabs in on both sides. Push this door up, push this door down. The way I do this is I just kind of get it to this point, clip those two clips in, and just squeeze the shit out of the top. And then just very slowly let go. And if you do it just right, it should just stay shut like that. There you go. I've been seeing a bunch of people in their reviews of this saying that they can't get that to stay shut. I've noticed it's a pain. You can do it, but it is a pain. But getting his trailer out of here, for some robot mode size comparisons here, we have the Commander class Rodimus Prime here with the Worlds Collide Deluxe class Bumblebee. And now Bumblebee is a freaking tiny deluxe class, and Rodimus Prime is a small commander class. To get a better look here is the Kingdom Leader class Ultra Magnus. We have deluxe class Alita 1. We've got deluxe class Studio Series Jazz. We've got 8604 Voyager class Hot Rod. No, she tipped. There we go. We've got, what else do we got? We got Earthrise Astro Train, also leader class. Kind of give you a view of what the leader class looks like there with them. Very cool is what I'm getting at here. So we can get all these dudes out of here. All of them. There we go. And to take a real quick deeper look at Rodimus Prime here versus Hot Rod. So this is the SS8604 Hot Rod and the WFC-K29 Rodimus Prime. As you can see, there's a massive size difference right off the bat. The leg pieces are changed from a kind of purple color to a more black color. He's a brighter red. He's more of a maroon. This one doesn't have the black details around the flames. This one does. This one looks like a young dude. This one looks like an old-ass man. He has two chrome guns that have different designs. He has one huge black gun that actually looks like those two put together. But very cool. I kind of wanted to just show that right there real quick. Just this comparison. This is the Studio Series Hot Rod. This is the Kingdom Rodimus Prime. That's the difference. Getting him out of here. So as for articulation on this guy, he's rather articulated. His head is on a ball joint, so you can get pretty good range of motion out of that. You can also take advantage of that piece that his head is actually attached to get even more range of motion out of it, which is kind of cool. His shoulders can do 360. They are impeded by his spoiler wing thing on his back there, though. He does have some pretty nice butterfly joints here, and you can actually take advantage of this panel here. You can pull that up and get like way more butterfly movement out of that there. He does have a double jointed elbow where he can articulate at this point and down at this point, as well as a swivel right in the middle of those joints. Those two joints combine to give him about 180 degrees of motion, which is very, very good. He also has these big-ass hands, which are articulated. It can rotate side to side or like this. And that's not just due to transformation. That's actually articulation there. His fingers are articulated. These three are together. You can bend at the finger and then at like that midway joint, and then his pointer finger is articulate, like it's on its own. The pointer finger is its own joint there. He does have waist articulation. He does have thigh rotations, which is a little bit impeded by the... Oh. Maybe not. Never mind. It can kick out pretty far. Kick back, not real far. It can kick straight out to the side, not real far either. But it does have these little panels here that just kind of aid in the look when you're articulating this guy. He does also have a double jointed knee, which he can articulate at that point or at that point, if you see that right here or right here. And then he does have ankle rocker joints as well as movable toes, which that's kind of for transformation with the toes, but he can go forward, which is actually for posability. That's about it for articulation. We can go ahead and get this guy transformed into his vehicle mode. If you want to see the guide on how to transform him, that will be linked down in the description below or right up here. Go ahead and check that out. Come back. I'll wait for you. I'll give you a minute. Alrighty, let's go. Alrighty, and here we are. We have Rodimus Prime transformed into his very cool vehicle mode here. Now, I don't think that this is supposed to be a real vehicle. I think this is just another one of those like Cybertronian sports car, quote-unquote, type things. You know what I mean? But it's very cool, and it definitely is throwing those hot rod vibes at me. This looks literally like if you took the 86 hot rod and just beefed it up, this is what you get here. And you can go ahead and take the trailer, and like I was saying with that little black tab right there, you literally just slide the wing or the spoiler into this slot here. You just line it up, slide it in, and give it a push, and it'll click into place there. And now you have him in his full alt mode, looking very nice. I actually really dig this. I think this is super cool. You can open this up just like I was showing you earlier. Still got all the same functionality. You can open it up. You can put a smaller Autobot or something in there. Hot Rod or Rodimus Prime can, roll out and take him into battle, whatever. You can put his weapons and blast accessories and stuff in here. This thing, it's a unit, It's an incredible robot with an incredible vehicle mode with piles of accessories that can all store in itself. In fact, this thing sitting on my shelf, usually I have all these blast effects inside the trailer with the turret. Like there is room. It does work. So for a quick size comparison, here we have the Commander class Kingdom Rodimus Prime with the Leader class Kingdom Optimus Prime and his trailer. So let's do these side by side. Let's line up these trailers here. So the trailers are lined up back to back. It might not look like it because of the camera angle, but they are. And you can see just about how much bigger Rodimus is than Optimus. Rodimus's trailer is the same size of Optimus with his trailer. And maybe even wider, to be 100% honest. But as you can see there, turn it to this kind of an angle. You can see this Rodimus, it doesn't even want to fit on the camera. This Rodimus is way, way bigger than this Optimus. And at first I was a little worried when I brought this thing home and I was looking at the robot modes and I was like, this isn't that much bigger. But it is. It really is. When you get them in vehicle mode, you can see it a lot better, how much bigger this is. I can even turn them this way, kind of give you this kind of an angle. I hope that does some kind of justice. This Rodimus is huge. That's where I'm getting at here. It's way bigger than the Optimus. And unfortunately, Huffer cannot pull this trailer. I tried. And all of his accessories, like I said, they can be stored in here. You can store stuff in here. You can store stuff down here. You have all sorts of places to store these accessories. It comes with a lot, but you can hold them all. But we can go ahead and get him transformed back into his robot mode here. And like I said, if you want to see that video, it'll be in the transformation guide. It'll be down in the description. Might pop up here. Might have earlier. I'm not sure. But either way, check that out if you need help. Come back to this, and we will get him into his robot mode. Alrighty, and here we are back in Rodimus Prime's really cool looking robot mode. To finish this video off, pretty much all I have to say is this is a very, very cool addition to my collection. So you get the Transformer, you get the trailer, you get cool gun, cool sword, some blast effects, some smoke, some explosions, some bombs, all sorts of stuff here. It can even, work with other figures and everything. This is a very cool set here. You're not just buying this for $80. This is not all you get. You get all sorts of stuff with it that, in my opinion, justifies, yeah, it was worth it. I think it was worth it. Let me know what you think of Rodimus Prime here down in the comments below. Leave me a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Stick around for the next video.